We have some breaking news for you about the alleged plot to derail a passenger train near Toronto. One of the two suspects in the case has just made his first appearance in a Montreal court. Salima Shivji is on the story and joins us live from Montreal. Salima, what happened in court today?
Well, it was a very quick procedure in court today. It's really actually a technicality that one of the suspects in this case, Jaheb Ezegayer, was appearing in this Montreal courthouse. And that's because the offenses for which he is charged were all apparently allegedly committed in Ontario. But because he was arrested in Montreal, he had to appear in the Montreal courthouse today within a 24-hour period of his arrest. Now, today he was made aware of the charges against him. They are 6 charges, all terror-related charges, a commission of an offense for a terrorist group, participation in activity of a terrorist group, also a conspiracy to commit a murder for a terrorist group. Now, those charges were read out to him, and then he was asked to be detained for 6 days, a maximum of 6 days, but the process will probably be quicker than that. The prosecutor told us today that basically the process is already started to get him transferred back to Ontario to have his next court appearance in Toronto. So it would appear that every other process regarding the suspect will take place in Toronto. And the suspect was very calm in court. He stood up calmly and said that he understood the charges against him, but he did interject at one point. He asked if he could speak to the courtroom, and he did. He said basically that the facts and the words that are being held against him and that have led to these charges were actually just based on appearances. So it appeared as though he wanted to defend himself in court today. He was quickly interrupted by the judge, however, who said it's not the place for that. This is just a first appearance, and you will be able to address the charges against you at a later date.
Oh, fascinating to hear from him. And of course, Salima, we know his fellow alleged co-conspirator also just appeared in a Toronto courtroom. What more are we learning about this suspect?
Well, we know that he was working with research here from the INRS, a research institution in Varennes, just outside of Montreal. We know that he attended a mosque in an area of Montreal, in a Côte-des-Neiges area, but we don't really know much about his life here in Montreal. We know he was a student at the University of Sherbrooke as well for a couple of years in 2009, 2010. But other than that, it seems like we don't know much yet about this suspect, but we do know that the charges against him are based on activities that were allegedly supposed to take place in Ontario. So everything in this dossier will actually be transferred to the Toronto area. And that's in fact why he was flown to near the Toronto area to be interrogated and then was flown back to appear in court here this morning.